Hi, One Hour Smart Home here, and today we're going to compare the Sonos Arc versus the Sonos Playbar. So the Sonos Playbar has been around for a while, and it's Sonos's original soundbar for TVs. The Sonos Arc is the newest generation of TV soundbars for Sonos devices. Now, both of these devices are streaming music devices, meaning you can stream music from your phone to these, or you can use them as a surround sound system and soundbar for your TV. You can also combine both of these with other Sonos speakers to complete a surround sound setup for your home. But there are some key differences between these two speakers. The first one is that the Sonos Playbar has 6 woofers and 3 tweeters. Now, the Sonos Arc has 8 woofers and 3 tweeters, so you get 2 extra speakers with the Sonos Arc versus the Sonos Playbar. Now, another big difference is how those speakers are positioned. The Sonos Playbar has those speakers positioned forwards, and there's 2 slightly tilted on the end. The Sonos Arc has speakers forward facing, and it has 2 speakers faced horizontally out the ends of the device, as well as 2 speakers that are positioned on the top of the speaker that are designed to bounce sound around the room from the top of the speaker. And why that's important is because the Sonos Arc is actually Dolby Atmos sound compatible, which is a 3D surround sound format, where instead of encoding sound to a particular channel, it encodes sound to a particular location in a room. So they can bounce the sound to, let's say, 2.5 feet behind your head and 5 feet up to create a 3D Dolby Atmos surround sound experience. The Sonos Playbar is surround sound compatible, and it does have digital surround sound. However, it does not have Dolby Atmos, so it will not do 3D surround sound. It will do that channeled surround sound where it directs the sound to a particular channel, whereas the Sonos Arc directs it to a particular location. And I'll say, when I've listened to a surround sound movie on the Sonos Arc, you actually will turn around because you think something might be right behind you while you're listening to that movie. It's pretty incredible what this can do with those top-facing speakers when combined with surround sound speakers like Sonos Ones or built-in speakers with a Sonos Amp combined with the Sonos Arc. Now, as far as sound quality goes, in normal listening scenarios, the Sonos Arc does sound a little bit better than the Sonos Playbar. Not a huge amount, but the Sonos Arc does have 2 additional speakers, and it does have those top-mounted speakers that really help fill the sound in a room. But we'll give you a little sound test between the Sonos Arc and the Sonos Playbar right now, so you can see how they sound. Now we'll sound test the Sonos Playbar at 40% volume with the microphone 1 foot away. Now we'll sound test the Sonos Arc at 40% volume with the microphone 1 foot away. So I think the biggest difference you'll ever notice in sound quality between these two is if you are listening to a movie that does have that Dolby Atmos surround sound. At normal music listening volumes, not a huge difference, but if you want to watch movies with surround sound, you're definitely going to notice it because you have the 3D audio with the Arc versus not having that 3D audio with this Sonos Playbar. Now, there are a couple other cool features that are built into the Sonos Arc that are not available in the Sonos Playbar, and that is the addition of voice assistants. So the Sonos Arc has both Google Home and Alexa voice assistants built in. You can choose to install either one of those voice assistants on this Sonos Arc, and you can remove them or enable them at any time, or change between which voice assistant you want, if you want Google Home or if you want Alexa. Now, not everyone's going to utilize the feature, but it is nice to be able to use voice commands to play music with your voice and use some other smart home controls using Alexa or Google Home voice commands. I do really like that feature, but if you don't want it, you can just mute the audio mic or not install those Sonos voice assistants, and it will work just like a regular streaming music smart speaker without a voice assistant. Now, the Sonos Playbar does not have those voice assistants available. Another feature that has been added to the Sonos Arc is that it is Airplay compatible and HomeKit compatible. So this can connect through the HomeKit app, and you can directly stream music from your iPhone through Airplay. You can also stream music through the Sonos app, which does have a great interface for either one of these devices, but Airplay is a nice feature if you have a big audio library on iTunes and you just want to stream right to this device. The Sonos Playbar is not Airplay compatible, but if you have another Sonos device in your Sonos system that is Airplay compatible, like a Sonos One or Sonos Arc or one of the newer Sonos speakers, it will enable Airplay functionality through the Sonos Playbar. It's not native in the Playbar, but it works through the Sonos app to stream Airplay from one speaker in the Sonos system to the Sonos Playbar, so you get that functionality for Airplay if you add another Sonos speaker that is Airplay compatible. Now, one other major difference between the Sonos Arc and the Sonos Playbar is that the Sonos Arc has an HDMI port built in for HDMI Arc and HDMI CEC compatibility. ARC stands for Audio Return Channel, which means that your TV can send sound to the soundbar, and CEC is a compatibility standard for controlling functions on your TV through the soundbar. The Sonos Playbar has a Sonos optical audio in port. However, you can get an adapter for optical to HDMI, but I do think that going forward, the Sonos Arc with an HDMI is the way to go, and you could get an optical to HDMI converter if you wanted to have optical from your TV into the Sonos Arc. However, you will get more functionality out of the Sonos Arc with the HDMI connector to your TV versus an optical connection. So that is one major difference. The Sonos Arc has an HDMI port. The Sonos Playbar does not have an HDMI port. All it has is an optical audio in port. So a big difference there. So maybe you're trying to consider between getting the Sonos Arc or the Sonos Playbar, or maybe you've got a Sonos Playbar and you're thinking about upgrading to the Sonos Arc. There are still some places that have the Sonos Playbar available at big discounts, and the Sonos Arc is the flagship soundbar for Sonos currently. So if I was making my decision on these, the Sonos Arc has that addition of Dolby Atmos, which really does sound great when you've got it paired in a surround sound setup. However, what you'll notice is that not every movie has Dolby Atmos sound enabled. If you have a movie that has Dolby Atmos sound, you'll definitely notice a difference between the Sonos Arc and the Sonos Playbar when you're watching the movie in a surround sound configuration, when you have other Sonos speakers set up as part of a surround sound system with either one of these. The Sonos Arc also has those two additional speakers when compared to the Sonos Playbar, and it has those top-mounted speakers which really help bounce sound around a room. However, all those additional features do come at a higher price point than the Sonos Playbar. And you get the HDMI port on the Sonos Arc, which you don't get on the Sonos Playbar. Now, all those additional features do come at a cost. The Sonos Arc is substantially more than the Sonos Playbar. But if you want something that is going to be forwards compatible and has that Dolby Atmos surround sound, I do think it is worth going with the Sonos Arc over the Sonos Playbar if you're currently deciding on a new surround sound setup. However, I don't know if I would upgrade from a Sonos Playbar if I wasn't listening to that many movies in surround sound, or if surround sound wasn't that important to me. Because most of the time, I don't listen to music that loud that there's a huge difference between the Sonos Arc or the Sonos Playbar. So those are just my thoughts on these two Sonos soundbars. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me that thumbs up, subscribe, or click any of the links below if you want to support us. Thank you.